I had someone say in one of the comments, how can you see this? Because I keep getting caught in the loop of just feeling like a me, just separate me. But, it's often easier to see it outside in nature, because nature's just life growing, whereas buildings are, people have constructed buildings out of materials, and they sort of, although they're alive in all of the vibrating particles, it's hard to see it as spontaneous life growing, the intelligence of life appearing that way, whereas nature is just the intelligence of life appearing that way, which is the same life that is animating here as a body, as a person, as a human being. So, this idea of oneness is a much more it's a beautiful way of looking at all of this. Not that it really needs to be understood. There just seems to be more harmony in life, including interactions with people. There's more of a compassionate, open, loving interaction with people. And if the person that you're dealing with is perhaps not very nice or angry or has words that seem quite sharp, instead of actually having, firstly, the entity that goes, how dare they speak about me that way? Don't they know that's rude? And, any of those things. Like, if there's no real belief in an entity here, this is connected, it's one, there's just an expression and a feeling here, then that it's a bit hard to get irate from this angle when somebody's said something like that. There's more of a feeling of, oh my, what I've imagined living with that amount of pain. Imagine living life. There must be suffering in some other way. It's a deer in the headlights of suffering, basically, of anger and stress and contraction. That's the way I would see people that are angry or attacking these days. There still can be a self-defense mechanism that says, oh, I don't like that, they shouldn't speak to me that way, that's not polite, that's rude. And that can come up, but it's like each time is like a gift to say, well, that there are emotions, there are feelings that might be coming up, but it doesn't really matter, or it's so instantaneous. It's like 2 seconds, 1 second, and then it's just sort of doesn't perpetuate. It's just nothing hooked into. It's not refed in a loop of injustice. And so that's a real different approach that happens, I suppose, as this perspective matures, might be the word, I suppose. It's just a word. But this idea of wholeness just applies to everything, this oneness, this everythingness that you are part of. And if you are not separate to the person you're speaking to, or with, really, with is a better word, because it's just this life interacting with itself. If you're one with them, there's still different perspectives and opinions, and minds work differently, and that's all part of the beauty. It's part of the expression, part of the creative unfolding of life, which is just so wonderful. And the reminder can be a walk in nature, or watching another human being, but not looking at them through the mind's eye. That's probably the biggest thing, looking at things through the mind's eye. Or notice when you're looking at things through the mind's eye. And then just be, and let it be that way. Let it be. And you might start to notice other things about the human being. You might start to notice details about the nuances as they move, and have a wonder for the expression, have a wonder for how the mind is spontaneously creating that next reaction in them, and how that interacts and mirrors through you. And there's also the beauty of the feeling of separation happening. That also is beautiful. Amazing. That's like a miraculous happening of being a human being, that it can feel this experience of being separate and have all the wonderful interactions and mirroring that happens through that mind game, that mental biological mind game that happens. It's just when it's not believed, that can be a beautiful show to be part of and witnessing, but it's not your identity. And there's liberation in that, there's freedom in that. There's freedom to be all the expression that that human being is meant to be.